Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is up, you Marvel nerds and Sony nerds tonight? Welcome back to the Carbonite Convos Podcast. This is episode 48. And finally, after another Marvel movie, we are just going to break this ish down. So Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage premiered on Thursday night live in theaters. And Alec and I both saw it this weekend. I saw it on opening night, and we could not wait to get on a podcast to talk about this. So we thank you guys for joining us. If this is your first time joining us, you've just taken your first step into a larger world. And like always, if you've been here before, we can't thank you enough for coming back again. For those of you on TikTok, thank you for joining us live. Make sure, if you agree or disagree with anything, I'm sure you're going to disagree with plenty, but just let us know in the comments your thoughts. But, before we get started, Alec, you're wall crawler pops. How excited are you to talk about Venom finally?
It's been something that's been in the works for a while. We actually haven't had any sort of conversation about it yet, just because we've been saving it to come on the pod and talk about it. So I'm excited to actually get your thoughts. I know we may have some different views on a few things, so I'm kind of excited to, disagree for once. So it'll be kind of an interesting conversation, and I'm ready to get into it. But before we do that, guys, I always got to throw it out there. If you like what you see here, make sure you hit that smash button. Hit that smash button. Hit that smash button. Smash that like button. Drop a comment. Give us a follow, guys. We really, really appreciate the support. I'm ready to get it going, man.
Definitely. I mean, I think you should start it off. You're the Spidey guy.
So
even though I did see it first. You did
see it first, day before, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Overall, I was really, really happy with the movie. I know you don't necessarily agree as much, but I thought there were a lot of things that shaped the future of how this Sony Spider-Verse is gonna be kind of shaped going forward. So let's just go ahead before we get into that. I want to get the bad stuff out of the way. I want to get the things that because there were some things I didn't love about it, and the thing that stuck out to me the most was that it was really short.
It was very short.
It was really
short.
That
was the main thing, and I think I don't have any like specifics. Like I didn't like that. Like maybe a little bit, but for the most part, I feel like it was just so rushed. To be honest, I enjoyed the way they introduced Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. I don't know. I have a bunch of thoughts right now, but I didn't like how short it was because I felt like it just didn't give you enough time to really digest what was going on. You have the fight between two iconic Spider-Man villains, and I didn't feel like they gave you enough time to really understand the hatred between them. Because why did Carnage need to kill Venom so bad? Because he wanted to be the only one?
Yeah, so real quick, we got a shout out on TikTok. What's up, Rufus? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. So with what you were saying right there, I just want to throw out one of my absolute favorite part of the movie so far is that reason how you're talking about why Carnage wants to kill Venom. Carnage is just insane. And the thing about symbiotes is that they enhance the skills and the characteristics of the people that they live inside of, right? Just like the super soldier serum makes good, it makes bad worse, right? That's the same thing with symbiotes. I was really excited that they showed Carnage being born, because it was my understanding beforehand that Carnage was bonded to Cletus Cassidy long before these movies. Like, so obviously Cletus Cassidy was a terrible human being, and I thought he committed a lot of those acts with the Carnage symbiote. But obviously the scene where he kind of had like the seedling come off of him that Cletus latched onto, that Carnage was born out of. That's obviously why Carnage kept referring to him as father.
I thought he was referring to Venom as father.
Yep, he was.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Carnage was referring to Venom as father. I feel like we might be getting set up for the future to see the children of Venom. Obviously, there's many different symbiotes that are born, and how the seedling type of how the symbiote is able to give birth or spread is through that like seeding process. And if it happened like that on accident, it's bound to happen again.
Yeah, I agree.
there's an endless amount of symbiotes out there, even in the comics thus far. There's also the other aspect of it, of the anti-symbiotes as well, which with Spider-Man No Way Home being up in the air about the sixth member of the Sinister Six. There's a rumor, obviously, that it could be Venom. That is how I feel like that could get tied into it. I don't know if Venom is gonna somehow occupy Peter's body and then spread from there. Maybe go to Flash Thompson. Maybe develop an anti-Venom. Maybe he might become a part of the Thunderbolts because Agent Venom fights with the Thunderbolts there as Flash Thompson for a while. So I feel like there's an endless amount of possibilities for the future of symbiotes within the MCU, especially if this, I don't want to call it a lawsuit, but whatever this legal agreement between Sony and Disney going on right now, where Disney has the potential to really acquire the majority of the Spider-Man rights back, and extend the universe
case, though.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. I think that's what I'm talking about.
I thought you were talking about just the agreement or settlement between Marvel and Sony, where they work in tandem with Spider-Man. Characters.
Yes. Okay, what's the Ditko thing?
Dude, there's like a big thing. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Maybe I haven't heard this.
It's a big thing that Steve Ditko's estate is suing. Well, no, I think they're trying to get the rights back to Spider-Man.
Right.
And Marvel is suing Disney is suing them, or someone is suing them because they want to keep them. So I was reading, if something happens and Disney doesn't win and the rights goes back to the Ditko family, then the MCU is kind of screwed, because there was something that affects Ant-Man and the Wasp. Doctor Strange 2 has a big issue. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong if this doesn't go the way that.
See, I get that, because like the whole Steve Ditko still doesn't have the full. I don't want to say like not what's the word I'm looking for here? He doesn't have like the amount of credit that he deserves for the creation of Spider-Man. I don't want to say that's Stan Lee's issue or Marvel's issue. I don't really know where the problem spreads from. I mean, obviously there is a problem, and I don't blame his family for being upset about that. I don't whatsoever, because that's one of the world's most iconic figures. And if for their family member to be one of the creators of it and to not really get the appreciation, that would rub me the wrong way a little bit too. However, I feel like Disney usually does make things right, whether it's financially or credibility wise, however it is. I'm not super worried about that. I think people are willing to do whatever it takes to make big things like this work. And I think the family would be denying the world of Spider-Man as well. And I think they probably understand that.
Yeah, because I think they would look at their actions and say, is this what Steve would want from us?
I can imagine in that scenario, I would just want some sort of credit that goes to my family, whether it's compensation wise or whatever.
Yeah.
For me, that'd be okay. You know, the past, let's move forward. I think things are good now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, we got a little off track there, but yeah. Symbiotes, totally.
Symbiotes. No, and that's a huge possibility, just because there's a big story that goes along with that. And with Flash Thompson being an interesting dynamic in the MCU, like this MCU's Flash Thompson, I don't know if he'll ever get incorporated in that way at all.
It's weird because he loves Spider-Man.
Well, that's another thing that's interesting. So, you want to go ahead and just talk about the post-credit scene or what? Because I have a certain thought on it. It's not about the grand scheme of things.
We'll need to circle back to all this stuff, though, because there's tons more to talk about the movie.
Absolutely.
At this point, if you have not seen the movie, you need to. This is this is riddled with spoilers. So if you have not watched it, we do not want to ruin anything for you, because a lot of us kind of knew what was going to happen going in, but I just don't want to ruin it for you. So go ahead, Alec. That's your warning.
So obviously we see Peter and we see the newscasts, right? I want to focus on the part where Venom says, "Oh, that guy looks tasty," and he like licks the screen, right?
Chupapi.
Anyways, I'm curious what's gonna happen, because the reason Venom wears the like spider logo on his chest, even when he's bonded with other people is because him and Peter are the perfect match, right? Venom is physically attached to Peter after he bonds with him, and there's like the huge separation between the two.
Yeah.
That might be a possibility in the MCU. I don't know if this new black suit has anything to do with it or not, but I highly doubt it. I want to know if there's any possibility that this sixth member of the Sinister Six, we talked about it before, that it could be Venom, but I don't know if it necessarily would be Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. There's a huge possibility that somehow Venom gets detached from Eddie, ends up in New York City somehow. I don't know if maybe this multiversal shift brought him there or not, but he ends up going to somebody who, maybe a Flash Thompson, who loves Spider-Man so much that when he finds out that it's Peter, and he obviously is like a bully to Peter, that he has this weird sort of fascination with trying to become best friends with Peter now that he's Spider-Man, and that becomes an evil thing, or you know what I'm saying?
No, I do. I, for one, flipped shit in the theater when that happened, man, because you're watching it, and right when it pans out and you see the room, I just saw the green of the telecast behind J. Jonah Jameson. Yep. And I was with my buddy when I was watching it, and I pointed right to it. And that's when I was like, in that moment, all the rumors came true, and I was like, holy crap, Venom is going to the MCU.
Yep.
And then just seeing Tom Holland, my theater went nuts. It was great. Yeah. Not like Endgame nuts, nothing like that, but everybody
gasps.
I was like, no, what? Oh,
yeah,
dude, it was incredible. It's unfortunate though, because that was my favorite part of the movie. I didn't hate the movie. I enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm kind of lost for words, but like the main thing that I kind of was upset about is because, Carnage is one of Venom and Spider-Man's most, like, I'd say, powerful and sought after villains in the comics. I'd say, obviously, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man comics, whatever word I'm looking for. I haven't read those, but I know the gist and all that. And I knew Carnage was a very significant villain. And for him to get beaten in what I thought was a fairly simple fight and then just died, I didn't know what the point of the whole movie was, because I figured at least maybe Carnage would survive somehow. But
who's to say he's really gone though? Like, let's be real. If there is an
Venom
opportunity, I don't know, man. With how symbiotes are, how they are, and with Carnage being originally a part of Venom, I don't know if they could somehow absorb into the body and live. Symbiotes are a lot more durable than I'm sure we can even imagine.
And I think the one way they could bring him back is, dude, like, it's clear the multiverse is busted wide open now. So I think I would just hate for them to be done with the character. It was my main concern, because I think he's super interesting. You didn't get to hear him talk. You didn't really get to see too much of him.
We know for a fact that it has been said that Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Tom Hardy's Venom will fight either against or with each other at some point. If there's ever an opportunity for them to team up against the common enemy, I don't see how it could be anybody but Carnage, because the majority of Venom's other children aren't evil.
Well, what about the policeman? Like, what's the deal with him?
That's what I'm saying. Where I think there's a huge possibility for the growth of symbiotes within the MCU.
Who do you think that would be? Is there anything from the comics that would lead you to know who he becomes?
Not off the top of my head, to be completely honest. There's I'm telling you, man, there's a ton of them.
I know.
It could be anybody, but what was I going to say about that? Do you think are we 100% confirmed that we know that Secret Invasion is about Skrulls?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Well, I thought,
okay.
I'm almost positive. Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, and I probably am, because that would make sense. But I'm just curious if there's any chance of something of symbiotes being involved in that in any way.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure because it's mainly Fury and Secret Wars. So
Nothing to tie in there.
Yeah.
So let's go back to what were some of the redeeming moments of the movie for you?
To be honest, I really liked the little animation of Cletus Cassidy's past. It's
That was
very
cool.
dark, but I thought that was a very interesting way.
It reminded me of like Tim Burton stuff.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything, but I know, the style.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously the comic relief and throughout the movie, that's what I was expecting. And, I thought it was pretty funny.
I liked the goofy Venom.
Yeah.
Where he's dancing in the club and it has
funny.
the neon on and all that sort of stuff.
Before we get to the rest of the redeeming ones, I just want to point out, like, one of the main things that made it not very high on my list, because I don't want to talk trash about it. I enjoyed the movie. It's Marvel, it's Spider-Man, like Spider-Man-esque. So I will enjoy it, and I probably will watch it again in the future. But you almost knew that there was no real danger. You know what I mean? I wasn't worried. One, I didn't think, what's his ex-girlfriend's name?
Kate.
One, I wasn't worried that she was going to die. I was pretty positive she was going to make it. And two, if she did die, I feel like we didn't have enough emotional connection with her for it to really matter. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think, like, the only one I can think of right now is really Yondu. I can't think of like a couple, but Yondu doesn't have a crazy role. Like, obviously he's in both movies a decent amount, but his death sticks with you.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of like a couple. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but if she would have died, I would have been like, oh, poor Eddie.
Right.
Then moved on, so there was no emotional attachment to their relationship. And I feel like that was the one thing Carnage was holding against him.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know what her future is going forward, because she does wield or bond with the Venom symbiote at some point. I don't know if maybe she becomes She-Venom or what going forward. Maybe she bonds with another symbiote, having done it before. Maybe they're more attracted to that. I have no idea. But I don't think she was an important aspect of the movie. What I feel like was the biggest point of the movie being made in general was the development of the relationship between Eddie and Venom.
Yeah.
Just because Eddie Brock is the main user of the Venom symbiote throughout the comics. Like, if someone says, "Oh, who's Venom?" You could say Flash Thompson, you could say Deadpool, you could say whoever. It's Eddie Brock, right? For the most part, people would say that. So I don't know if maybe they were establishing them as as a little bit stronger characters being together going into the MCU.
Yeah.
Maybe they needed to spend some time, growing that, because up to this point, all we had really seen between the two of them was the origin story. We didn't know how they spent time after that. Obviously, they like agreed, okay, we need to work together to defeat the enemies. We can eat the bad guys. We got to save the good guys. We got to protect the good people. That sort of thing. After seeing them do it for a little bit, to see how much they were still struggling with each other.
Yeah.
I can only imagine wearing the symbiote is terrible for you.
Wearing the symbiote? What do you mean?
Like, it being inside of your body, I feel like it takes such a toll on Eddie when the purpose of them trying to like collaborate with the symbiotes is to like have better health. I just find it super ironic.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's a black sludge inside of you. So, I mean, it's not, I don't think it'd be the greatest thing.
Mm-hmm. I also thought Woody Harrelson did a really good job as Cletus
I did
Cassidy.
too.
He was really good.
I haven't really seen anything negative about it, but I thought he did very well.
Here is one issue I have with the story is I found it really weird why Cletus Cassidy had a fascination with Eddie Brock, because I thought what was attracting them to each other was that he was Carnage already.
Yeah.
And so to find out he's like, I just wanted your friendship or whatever. I just thought that was really strange.
Yeah. Why him?
Right. Why him?
How accurate is, like, in the comics, how does Cletus Cassidy become Carnage?
That way.
Really? So he like
but he does a lot of his like really evil stuff with that.
No, I get that. I meant like he become like kind of the same death sentence, all that crap gets inside of him and then he bursts.
Right.
Okay. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that that's how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going off of what you said, I thought they were attached already as well because, you know, in the trailers, you see him bite him and he's like, I've tasted blood and Eddie, and that's not it. I thought that he knew that it was some type of, that it was a symbiote because he knew he had already experienced what it was like. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Here's something interesting as well that I was thinking about was, you remember the line where Venom said, "Oh shit, that's a red one"?
yeah.
Canonically, the color doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just random. It's kind of like lightsaber colors a little bit, where like it kind of has a reason, but like not really. There's not like an exact definition. It's the same thing with like the symbiote colors. It's kind of random, but I don't know if they're like making it a thing where like the colors matter going forward, because there's blue, green, red, black, white, endless options. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with that. I just thought it was really interesting to decide to even like pursue that in any way.
I don't know. Maybe we're reading too much into it like we do. Maybe it was just meant for something funny, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't
Easily
know.
could have been.
Yeah, overall, I thought Woody Harrelson did an incredible job as Cletus. I just would have liked to see more Carnage.
Sure. I don't know what the future is going forward with him, man. I think there's probably some options, and maybe they will be back, but I have genuinely no idea.
Yeah. So moving on, what do you think of Screech?
Interesting. I want to know where she got her powers,
Yeah.
and why were the two of them locked up together? That I don't know either.
Well, I think they were next to each other. I don't think they were in the same.
No, but I don't think there were any more children in there.
Yeah.
It was I could be wrong, but it seemed, and they just focused on those two, like they were locked up in the same like building together. But she had superpowers, and he was just a killer. So I mean, I don't know if they're on the same level of
Crazy.
of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It was very like just eerie, like creepy, like just like the whole insane asylum type of story really kind of freaks me out. Like I don't like that kind of stuff. So with this being a lot of it, it didn't scare me. Excuse me. It didn't scare me or anything. I just, it's just an eerie feeling, like the churches, the big mansions in the woods, the scratching on the walls, all that stuff. I'm just not about it, but it was super interesting. One thing, and dude, this does not matter whatsoever, but it was something that I immediately thought of. Wasn't she locked up since she was a kid?
Yeah.
Okay. Then how the hell does when Cletus steals that red car, she goes out of there driving like she's a NASCAR driver. She just somehow knows how to escape the police. She knows how to drift, everything. I'm sitting there thinking, like, right when I'm seeing this, I was like, who taught her how to drive? Like, how did she know
old Nicky
this?
Boy is the king of plot holes over here.
Oh, dude, I know it has no.
No, I didn't even think about
whatsoever.
It doesn't, but like I get that. Like, I mean, that's a good question. Like, I didn't even think about that.
Would Cletus even know how to drive?
Well,
he wasn't in prison his whole life, was he? Not even prison.
No. Yeah,
he
he was out doing some bad stuff.
Yeah. They are a like disgustingly evil couple, though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
It's gross. So, let's get back.
It's gross.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What?
Tell me the post-credit scene where that multiversal shift happened didn't look like it came out of the Spider-Verse movie.
Dude, that's exactly what I thought. That's
It was
exactly
like
what I
that
thought too.
pixelated, multiple color,
Yes,
like glitching that was just straight out of the movie.
dude. Ah, man, I don't even know what to say. Like, how going? Sorry, I'm trying to think of what even to say about the post-credit scene, just because it was so freaking awesome. Just finally getting confirmation. But one thing that also stuck out to me, besides Spider-Man, Peter Parker, all that, I'd love to know what Venom was showing Eddie at the time of when it happened, because he was like 80 million years of hive knowledge, and
Yeah.
and then you kind of see his eyes glaze over, kind of like Peter Quill, when Ego shows him purpose. You kind of see that for a sec, and I thought that was going to have a little relation, and then you see the multiverse break, and somehow they are right there. Like, why were they glitching right there? Why is that on the TV? Why is it that point in time that all of this happens?
So do you think? Okay, let's theorize here.
Let's
do it. So let's compare the moment where the multiversal shift happens in the Venom post-credit scene. Do you feel as if that's happening at the same time as No Way Home when Doctor Strange is casting his spell? Or is that something that's happening maybe more along the lines of in Loki, where we see the multiverse breaking open? Which one do you feel is more realistic to be compared to make these things actually happen?
Well, there's a couple different ones, because like we need to see the timeline of where obviously No Way Home is after obviously Far From Home is after Endgame. All of this what we're seeing is after Endgame. But I think the bigger question is, if that TV was live, then the multiverse broke during Spider-Man Far From Home, and it's already broke. I remember thinking, I think I remember hearing like WandaVision and Loki are kind of going on simultaneously a few weeks after Endgame, which is
Right.
when Far From Home is. So I'm thinking maybe Wanda and Loki, the timelines break there. The multiverse opens while Peter is watching it unfold in New York with J. Jonah Jameson. And maybe Doctor Strange is doing something else.
Potentially, because we also know that No Way Home takes place immediately after Far From Home.
Exactly.
So
maybe,
but there's not that big of
adds to that.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Maybe at that point, the multiverse is already open, and this Doctor Strange isn't even our Doctor Strange.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, maybe the multiverse opened somehow. Doctor Strange is off doing God knows what, and this other Doctor Strange is able to sub in almost, and we can't forget about What If. This stuff we're seeing right now, man, we cannot forget about that, because I think there's a very good chance that the Doctor Strange that we're seeing team up with Uatu the Watcher is someone that we will see in the MCU, because I don't think this Doctor Strange is bad. I don't
think so either. I don't think he's necessarily good either, but
No.
I mean, he's what Stephen Strange would be in any universe. If our Stephen Strange was given endless amount of information, of knowledge and power, he'd probably be extremely similar.
Yeah.
Just who he is.
So let's not get too far. You're exactly right. Sorry, I keep yawning. It's been a long weekend. By the way, I was at the bar on Friday night, and there was this dude sitting next to us, and we were in New York, and this dude, I could have swore I saw Doctor Strange, right? Animated Doctor Strange. So, but he goes to the bathroom or somewhere. He comes back, and I was like, "Hey, man, like I don't mean to be weird. Are you watching What If?" He's like, "Yep, I'm a huge nerd." So me and Josh just start talking to him for a good little bit. We're just spitting theories back and forth at each other for like 20 minutes in the bar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really funny.
That's awesome, dude.
It was
good to know we're not alone out there, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he was watching it after work in a bar. It was funny.
Good for him.
Ronnie, if you ever see this, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Good old Ronnie boy.
But back to the whole multiverse breaking. It's hard to say. This is something
I don't think we're gonna get an answer. I don't think we're gonna get an answer until Multiverse of Madness, to be completely honest.
This could be something where we look back a couple years from now and it all starts to all piece together, because I'm sure we will get some answers as time goes along. But I think this is going to be a multi-year process where we'll watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, what is Quantumania, and we'll say, oh, Loki, one of it, something. I think down the road, this is stuff.
I mean, dude, if the Infinity Saga taught us anything at all, it's that's more than likely to happen.
Dude, we watch Marvel still to this day and still catch stuff, you know?
Oh, 100%.
So
it's great.
And, you know, we've talked about a little with Disney Plus being the main source of these movies. They have the power to go back and look at these things, you know, not look at these things and change things if they want to.
Dude, have you heard the rumor about the Daredevil show coming to Disney Plus?
No, maybe I've seen something, but I haven't.
So the rumor is that they're either going to be completely redoing the show with the same what's his name, Charlie Cox playing Matt Murdock, either starting the show from scratch or picking it up from season 4 and continuing it and canonizing it within the MCU. I gotta
watch that.
I know.
I've watched 4 episodes and I just got caught up with other stuff. Have you watched it all?
No. I need to. I really do.
Maybe you and I should do something like a live, like a watch through. That'd be so hard.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
I'd be down.
That'd be so hard.
Yo, real quick, have you heard about these Spider-Man No Way Home leaks? Do you want to talk about them?
Which ones? I don't know which ones you're talking about. There's so many.
The supposed screen time that Andrew and Toby are going to have.
No, I have not.
So keep in mind, Captain America and Iron Man's screen time in Endgame were 33 or 34 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Andrew and Toby are getting 40 minutes apiece in No Way Home, and they're supposed to show up in the second act of the movie.
Whoa.
Supposedly
that goes far against what you've always said, is that you thought they were going to have like 2-3 minutes.
So supposedly the scene where Peter's on the bridge and he sees Doc Ock, he says, "Hello, Peter," happens before Toby and Andrew show up.
Yeah.
And then it's also leaked that before Toby and Andrew show up as well, that Rhino is supposed to come and become the 6th member. Supposedly. Then in the second act, we're supposed to get Toby and Andrew. Also, sorry, just keep layering on here. There's another possible rumor that Toby is supposed to show up in Multiverse of Madness as well.
I've seen that. I thought that was from a while back.
Could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's likely or not, but dude,
I don't know.
It's interesting. It's interesting seeing Toby and Andrew in real life talking about whether or not they're in the movie. Dude, Andrew denies it.
I haven't seen Toby say anything.
Dude, Toby supposedly tells just like random people on the street, like, "Oh yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it for like 30 or 40 minutes." Like he's just like telling these random people like private information. And this could be rumor, but it's supposedly what's happened just like on the streets.
When I think of the whole Andrew Garfield stuff, it's just, he says, it's almost like he's too comical about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he pretends not to know some things. It's like, I'm sorry, your name is more in the news now than it was when your Spider-Man movies were out.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're not keeping up. There's no way he's not Googling his name every couple days just to see what's out there.
Sure.
Especially like regardless of if he's in it or not. So the fact that he acts so oblivious sometimes, as do the other actors, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. Not in a negative, ridiculous way. Just as kind of, I don't know, comical.
No, absolutely.
Have you seen the leaked picture of like this dungeon? Not dungeon, but The room where Doctor Strange casts the spell, apparently, and you can't tell if it's a real picture or not, but you can see, believe you can see Lizard, you can see Sandman, you can see Doc Ock, and you can see, I think, Electro, I believe, maybe Green Goblin, but you can see the villains.
Really?
Yeah, but it's almost like they're not locked up. Remember, all right, you know how in the
No, I think I've
Spider-Verse-
seen it. They're almost in like glass cases.
Yes, I was gonna say like in Spider-Verse, how he has his suits. It's almost like that. Yes, they're in those glass cases.
Almost like they're on exhibit in a zoo in a way.
Yeah, dude. Can I bring up something that I haven't thought about until a few minutes ago when I can't remember what you were talking about? What if Ultron won? Thor was an only child. I'm just kidding. What if, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, although it's been out for 3+ years, what if that breakage in time, the multiverse
Happened at the same time?
Yes, because if they're bringing that Spider-Man, if that Miles Morales, those Spider-Man in as well, then you can't just have this random multiversal break 3 years earlier,
Right.
It would have to be simultaneous.
I could see it being one of those universes that one of the Spider-Man came from being
Spider-Man?
our Spider-Man.
It's like his last name, Mr. Spider-Man.
I can imagine one of the ones that they came from being our universe. I feel like there's a good chance that Spider-Gwen, obviously Gwen Stacy,
Yeah,
she could be the one that is brought into the MCU as well, because we have not seen a Gwen Stacy in the MCU.
yeah.
And canonically, comic-wise, Peter meets Gwen before he meets Mary Jane. And obviously we don't have a Mary Jane, we have a Michelle, but it's the same concept in my opinion.
What's Ned's girlfriend's name again?
I don't remember.
Because I thought that
Like Holly or something?
No, I thought that she had a name of like a very notable Spider-Man character.
I don't remember.
I don't either. Huh. We've gotten really off the topic.
I'm sorry to
of
get
Venom.
I got one. This is a little bit more on track. Dude, we got new trailers
For what?
for No Way Home. We got a longer trailer. Did you
When?
not see it?
No, why didn't we do a reaction?
It was before the movie in the theater. Dude, it was an extended cut trailer.
I came in during the
Bro,
No Way Home.
We got
trailer.
a lot. You need to go watch. There's a lot more. It's the same trailer, but more is added to it. Like they show a longer clip of the scene where Peter is talking to Doctor Strange, and he's like, "Oh, MJ should really know. Oh, Aunt May should really." They showed that more, but also because it's like it was an IMAX screen, you could see more of the film.
Yeah.
And dude, like the dungeon type room they were in, like he was casting the spell around them and stuff, that these shields dropped in behind them that like closed the room off. I swear there were like runes on the ceiling and stuff. Dude, I got vibes from WandaVision with the Agatha scene.
Yeah. Dude, that's super cool. I can't wait for the next movie. Well, dude, the next movie's Eternals. I'm super hype about that as well.
Yo, I heard something kind of funny about Eternals. So this theory says that fictionally the DCEU exists inside of the MCU. In this new trailer that we saw, Icarus, who is like the Superman equivalent of the Eternals, is like talking to a kid, and the kid said something along the lines of, "Oh, I saw you on TV. You were flying and shooting lasers out of your eyes." And Icarus turns around and says to him, "No, that's not me. I don't wear a cape."
That's cool.
It also links because in What If, there's a scene where you can see what looks to be the Fortress of Solitude, which is Superman's secret base.
Where?
In the universes where
they're
Uatu is pushing Ultron through.
That'd be the place to put it.
Like the Fortress of Solitude.
That'd be the place to put it. That's really cool. I
don't know
put that together.
I don't know if that ever puts the possibility of there being any sort of major crossover, but I don't think it's ever out of the equation, dude. That would make so much money.
I have people in my TikTok comments telling me that wasn't Mustafar.
There is no way in hell that wasn't Mustafar.
Like, you're reaching. and
There's
it's just like,
dude, Vader's castle
if
is
you're watching,
literally sitting
yeah,
right there.
if you're on this, right, if you're watching this, go check out the video. It's literally Mustafar. It's the same. Not only is it a lava planet, which, obviously there's lava planets everywhere, I'm sure,
Sure.
but it's the same layout as, a very notable screen grab from Revenge of the Sith. And the fact that we have Vader's castle in the back, like, come on, like,
That's a no-brainer. That's 100%
people like that
Mustafar.
piss me off just because it's like, can't you enjoy anything?
Well,
Like,
dude, they were talking about bringing Luke into What If in some
they're
capacity.
talking about bringing Luke. They're talking about the Death Star. It's like, bro, just shut your damn mouth.
And in the same
and, like,
episode, they referenced the Death Star. There's no way that wasn't
exactly. It's
Mustafar.
just like,
no way.
you got people on this, like, get people on TikTok like this that just like, oh, you're reaching, bro. It's like, shut up, you sweaty just person. I don't know what you sweat. It's like you clearly don't know anything. And it's just like, you can see Vader's castle. What else do you expect? It's the same size, shape, everything. But man, we've really gotten off the topic of Venom. What were some other things that you really liked about the movie?
Dude, the scene where Venom and Carnage are fighting, and Carnage like swings up into the top of the church and like poses in front of that stained glass window. We saw it in the trailer.
You've talked about this before, too.
Dude, that scene was sick.
Yeah,
super dope.
Sorry, I'm reading some comments. Can you see A Evans? All right. Give me. Yeah, he said, I feel like Doctor Strange is in No Way Home is Agatha Harkness. Well, he said Harkins, but I assume he meant Harkness.
Well, that's what I was just saying. Like, this extended cut trailer gave me serious vibes.
You don't think he's
of
Agatha,
the witchcraft,
though, do you?
I don't know if he's Agatha. Like, I don't think it's out of the question. I also don't think it's out of the question for it to be it's another form of sorcerer.
Yeah.
It's all the same magic.
Because clearly, we've seen there are many witches.
Right.
The Scarlet Witch. What about the Green Witch? Where's she at?
The Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, no, Green Witch. She's off getting high or something. I don't know. I don't think it's Agatha. Watch me come back and be completely wrong. But
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they really do have something huge planned because of all the Mephisto, not leaks, just details that they threw into WandaVision, and then for it to not pan out to be anything. I still feel like they're not done with that possibility. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not one bit.
I don't know. What else you got about Venom?
Overall, Ben, I was happy with it. Again, I don't think a ton happened.
Yeah.
I do think that I think Eddie's life is continuing to fall apart, and maybe now that he's in a different universe, I don't know if he's gonna
do it over.
Maybe he can do it over. I don't know, man. I think that there's such a huge possibility for Venom in the MCU now, and it's interesting because I want to see what happens in the Morbius movie in January. Hopefully, that release date stays the same. I don't see why it'll move. I think we're gonna get a much better interpretation of what the Spider-Verse is gonna look like after that, especially if that's obviously after No Way Home, so we'll have an even better vibe about it from then. But with the Morbius movie being a Sony exclusive, I think that's going to be more along the lines of like what we're going to be expecting going forward.
Yeah, no, for sure.
For
sure. What sucked is when I saw it, we bought the tickets a little late, so we had to see it in the front row. And I saw Shang-Chi in the front row too, and it was fine. I need to
rewatch that, dude.
Dude, we watched.
I feel like I missed a lot of it the first time, but
dude, we watched Venom. We were in the front row. It sucked. Like, dude, I was looking just straight up at it. I was at a horrible angle. It was booty cheek, man. It was ass. But Rosemary came with us too. She made a good point. Like, she had a kind of a hard time understanding what the symbiotes were saying at at all times, which I did kind of find it a little hard to understand Venom at some points. That's Tom Hardy, right? Sorry.
Talking?
Yeah, as Tom
To
Hardy
my knowledge,
plays Venom,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
To my knowledge.
That's a
think so.
good job by him.
Bro, he crushes the role, man. It really does.
Someone made a good point though. It's that one thing with a lot of anti-heroes is that they're losers and then they become cool,
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened for Eddie. He still is just a loser.
Eddie.
Yeah, he's still like he does something huge. He saves the world, he's still a loser. Saves the world again, he's still a loser,
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a good point. I try not to base my opinions on what I read from others that what they thought about the movie, but I thought he made a good point. I was like, yeah, like when's Eddie gonna be cool? Like
Sure.
He's a cool character. When is he gonna be just kind of tight,
Mm-hmm. I absolutely do. I just think he's always in pain, man. He's just not the smartest guy ever. And shoots himself in the foot a lot. But I think that's just Eddie Brock. I think it's just what he does.
I'm just ready to see him with Tom Hardy.
With Tom Holland.
I'm an idiot. Yep. Yeah, I'm ready to see him with Tom Holland, man. That's gonna be so.
Yeah, it really is, man. We're not that far off.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I feel like we talk about the same stuff a lot. It's just the MCU has changed forever. And it's like every single thing we watch, it's changing forever. When we watch WandaVision, we're like, holy crap, there's no going back now. I think you could argue that Falcon Winter Soldier was the only thing that wasn't like that.
Where nothing really changed.
Nothing incredibly new in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then you get to
Right.
Loki, you have the multiverse breaking. Now Tom Holland is in the Sony Venom. It's like I can't imagine what they're going to throw to us next. And where do they go after that? After we get all these Spider-Men, where do we go from there?
Spider-Man. Dude, the future is endless, man. It really is.
No, I know. It's great, man. It's great.
No, dude, we say it all the time. What a time to be alive.
You and yours. That's where you finish the lyrics.
I said it.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I was gonna say we would not be a good we wouldn't be a good symbiote. I did like the fact I did think it was pretty cool as Venom, and as Venom feels defeated and Eddie knows that they can still beat Carnage, he looks up and he says, we are symbiotic.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't. He's a symbiote, but they're not a match. We can defeat them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that, just that concept, because you could see the struggle between, even though it was very, very brief, you could see that Cletus and Carnage still had different motives. Even though they both just wanted Carnage, at the end of the day, Cletus wanted his what did he call her? Beaming light.
Yeah.
He still just wanted her, and man, Carnage did not like her.
No,
I feel like we weren't able to see a lot of her powers too much.
No, just because they didn't mesh.
Yeah, you can't use it a lot.
Mm-mm.
Can't use it a lot. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there could have been an altercation between Venom and this girl where, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. Venom and Screech, where she's using her powers against Venom, and maybe that's how Venom and Eddie separate and Carnage can kind of take over for a second. I don't know. I don't know. Man. I just would like to see the characters again. I really would like to see Cletus Cassidy again. I would like to see Carnage again. I hope they're not done with these characters.
I don't think they are. I really don't think they are.
I don't know. Yo, off topic, what is that hanging to your left?
This?
Yeah.
Some sort of artwork. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm at my girlfriend's right now.
Gotcha.
So that's why I don't have my pop
Empty
display
shelf.
behind me all the time. Yeah, we're working on stuff. We started our own little pop collection. It's over there. Maybe I'll start recording in front of that, so at least we can look at something.
Yeah, that's cool.
But my collection is back at my parents' house. Just don't have the room for it here right now. Eventually we'll be able to get it in here, but that's why sometimes it's behind me, sometimes it's not. Got to
Good
spend some
deal.
time over there with the fam yesterday. Looked at all that stuff, so it was fun.
Awesome. All right. We are getting down to crunch time now. Are we about you have anything else? I know we veered off topic a little bit, but like we said, there wasn't a
ton that really happened that in this movie, but I think overall it was a quality movie. I'll definitely watch it again. I'm a Venom fan in general. So that's just me, but definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it yet. I highly recommend, at least for the future at least for the post credit. Go check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, we appreciate you joining in on the episode today. We can't thank you enough for coming back. We do have some more content coming out this week. We have the series finale of What If tomorrow. So on Wednesday morning, you can definitely expect a reaction video from us. I know it's going to be freaking wild. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We weren't able to get the Thor pop list out last week, but we're getting it out this week. And then in the following weeks, we are going to have the video on the Captain America pop list. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have going on. If you haven't seen Venom, go check it out. It's in theaters now. You won't regret it, especially that final minute after the credits roll. You will love it. But again, thank you for joining us. And until the next video, like always, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.